against the country. The deputies also denounced the military attack by the United States from Trinidad and Tobago in a false flag operation that has been unveiled by the Bolivarian authorities, and also they have managed to recount that they were led by the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, in the country. Those were the statements that have been taking place during the ordinary session of the National Assembly in this context, a context in which the US has been deploying military ships in Caribbean waters, also towards the Pacific as well. There have been attacks on dozens of vessels in Caribbean waters, in international Caribbean waters, that has left a death toll of over 30 people, 30 human beings who have been extrajudicially massacred, and also without showing any evidence in this alleged war on crimes. Let's listen to more statements of deputies from the National Assembly.
Warmongering because it is a threat against the brother people like Venezuela is, and it's unloyal because if there is a country that has been condescending not only with CARICOM but specifically with the people of Trinidad and Tobago, it's been precisely Venezuela. In the matters of human rights, time ago, the Pact of San Jose, in matters of integration, economical integration, and the degree of being a dragging action like the ones that have been carried by this lady that has even carried forward its own people, dragging them. In previous days, we were able to listen and observe the shots fired from a boat to another, where the victims were Trinidad and Tobago citizens. An agreement on energy of this degree that, by the way, they had to ask for permission to defraud the empires, but they threw it through the plank just to follow the warmongering efforts. We, as Venezuelan, and if there is something that in the last few days, in the last months, but especially in the few days we have seen, and I was commenting in the halls of this National Assembly, is that there has been an immense will of national unity. I have participated in some meetings of sovereignty and peace, and the things that we have seen the less precisely in the vanguard activists, precisely those who exercise the political action as our jobs. We have seen the academy, we have seen the industrial sector, the business sector, the commercial, the different ways of the colonies that have been established here in Venezuela, closing their ranks around this great country that has a threat, and as a threat there is no time to doubt. That is why that agreement, I suggest that it has to be approved with unanimous character, because it is Venezuela, the whole Venezuela, that has to reject that attitude that is warmongering and not loyal. I would like from here not to extend myself to remember the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, an expression from Emiliano Zapata, who said that if you want to be an eagle, you have to fly high. If you want to be a weasel, go and drag. But then don't scream where you are crushed. That is the sad reality of those who drag, who crawl, of those who disrespect the name of the Trinidadians. If there's something that we have a lot in the middle of the difference that are healthy, that have to be simulated. But if there is something that we have in big amounts to here as Venezuelans is dignity, especially dignity. And when I asked the chief of the faction the possibility of being able to say a few words, I was in that moment talking to Timoteo, and I was watching a video of the President Chavez, and he was remembering a conversation with Fidel Castro where he said, Fidel, if on Cuba or Venezuela there's a threat of invasion, we will never do what Saddam Hussein did, of dragging to a rotten house. We prefer to go out with our feet up front, but fighting and battling. And I tell you today, let's prepare ourselves then. They should not be mistaken. If we have to go with our feet up front, that is more dignified to die that way, that as a worm than cross like the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago does. If someone wants to be an eagle, we have to fly high. If someone wants to be a worm, then they can crawl, but then they shouldn't cry